Hey guys, before I get started in the video, I just want to make like a quick disclaimer or whatever. I know it's been a week since I last uploaded, and I'm sorry for that. I know I said, during the summer that I was gonna really just, work hard, do my thing, upload consistently, and I haven't done that really, and that's really on me. I just been dealing with a lot lately, trying to look for a new job and stuff like that, trying to get some new source of income before I start college and have to pay for it. So, yeah, it's just been really difficult for the past week. But anyways, I'm over that. I'm gonna be back on my grind and be uploading as consistently as possible. Trying to give as much content as I can. And then also just a quick thing as well that I know I said I know I literally just said I was gonna be uploading consistently, but next week, like for half a week or so next week, I'm going to be gone. I'm gonna be out of town, so I won't be able to upload then. But I will definitely be able to upload after that. So just for half of next week, I'm not gonna be uploading, even though I said that I was gonna be uploading consistently. But that's different. All right, I'm going on vacation, so I just wanted to let y'all know. And also, just one more quick thing before I jump into this video. All these predictions that I have, it's gonna be after game one of the Suns versus Clippers Western Conference Final, but this is before game two. So, yeah, I just wanted to make sure, who would make the Eastern Conference Finals in the East, before I, start recording this video. So just, let y'all know that, this is going to be after game one of Suns versus Clippers. So, yeah, with that being said, that's all I have to say. Enjoy the video, and I will see y'all next time. Peace out. Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Basketball HUD. So finally, we have moved on to the conference finals portion of the NBA playoffs. It has been quite a while. We started with 16 teams in the first round, moved down to 8, and now we only have 4 remaining, and only 2 can advance to the NBA Finals, with 1 winning that NBA title. So it should be a very interesting playoff for sure. Very unpredictable. I mean, if you were to tell someone that we were going to have Suns versus Clippers and the Hawks versus Bucks, like, that would have been crazy in my opinion. Like, I don't think anyone would believe that. I think people would call you crazy, insane, just very outrageous claim. But that's exactly what happened in this playoffs, and it just goes to show you how unpredictable the NBA can be. And so with that being said, with this unpredictability, I want to be able to accurately predict who is going to make the NBA Finals and have that shot at getting the championship, and who is going to be getting sent home in the conference finals. So with that being said, let's get right into this video. Alright, now before we get on to the predictions, I just want to go over as to how I'm going to judge this. So the first thing I'm going to judge is basically just what are the team's strengths and weaknesses, and I'm just going to compare and contrast them. And after that, I'll just give my final prediction, my final verdict on who's going to be making the playoffs, making the finals, and who's going to get sent home. And yeah, with that being said, let's get into the Suns versus Clippers Western Conference Finals. So, obviously, these are 2 very good teams. Obviously you have the Phoenix Suns, and they're very good offensively and defensively. Clippers are the same way, but there is one similarity that, is very important, that they're going to be without their star players. Kawhi Leonard's out with a knee injury for probably the rest of this postseason, and then also Chris Paul is out with the health and safety protocols. So with that being said, these are very going to be well-balanced teams. And with that, it should be a very entertaining series in my opinion. So let's get started on the predictions. So let's talk about the Phoenix Suns. And the Suns are a very well-balanced team. They're not only great offensively, but they're great defensively as well. And I think it's their defense that has gotten them this far in the postseason. I mean, obviously you have a defensive anchor in DeAndre Ayton. You have 2 great perimeter defenders in Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder. Chris Paul, he's an all-defensive player formerly, so he's very good at doing that. And then also, You also have Devin Booker, and Book is not the best defender on his team, obviously, but he's definitely been putting a lot of the work in, and he's definitely been putting a lot more effort defensively, and that's been helping out the team a lot. So just a very good perimeter defender oriented team, very good team that can defend on the inside. Their offense is great. Their three-point shooting has been phenomenal in this postseason. And I think they're just going to keep on doing that against the Clippers. Not only they're a great three-point shooting team, but they also like to score on the inside as well. So they like to mix it up a lot. So definitely can't wait to see that for sure. And then also add in the fact that they have a great coach in Monty Williams, who in my opinion should have been coach of the year, but that's whatever. And on top of that, they also have a great bench as well. And of course, with Chris Paul being out, Cameron Payne is likely going to be the starting point guard. And he's been really good off the bench for the Suns, and I only expect him to do great things in the starting point guard role in absence of Chris Paul. So definitely can't wait to see Cameron Payne shine. But with that, obviously, the biggest weakness is Chris Paul being out. He's the guy that controls the tempo of the offense. He's someone who calms everyone down. And again, the Suns are a pretty darn young team. They're fairly young, and because of the fact that they're a young team, you need like someone older, like a veteran, who's just going to come in and help calm them down when things get very intense. And so having him gone is really going to affect that. And this could be a very physical game, or not just physical game, but a very physical series for the Suns' young players without having Chris Paul. So obviously just losing that veteran leadership is definitely going to hurt them. But I think that's pretty much the only big weakness. With that being said, I think that the Suns, they can definitely make up for the playmaking of Chris Paul. Cameron Payne, as I said, will step up. And Devin Booker, he's not just a scorer, he's very underrated as a playmaker. So he'll definitely step into that role as well with Chris's absence. And again, the Suns are very good defensively, so they'll be able to hold their own there. And with that being said, that is the Phoenix Suns. And with that being said, we're going to move on to the Los Angeles Clippers and talk about their strengths and weaknesses. All right, then moving on to the Clippers, very interesting team like the Phoenix Suns, very good offensively and defensively. For one, they're a very good three-point shooting team. In my opinion, they're the best three-point shooting team left in the playoffs. They're very good at moving the ball as well. And on top of that, they got a very good perimeter defense as well. I mean, Paul George, we already know how he can be on defense. And then also Terrence Mann has stepped up well. Reggie Jackson, Patrick Beverley, Marcus Morris Sr., Rajon Rondo even. Just all these guys are capable of stepping up on the defensive end. And they're a big reason why the Clippers have been really good on that end. And just, obviously they have some solid coaching from Tyronn Lue. And I think just Paul George, shout out to Paul George. He has been playing great so far this postseason. Even when Kawhi was healthy, he still was having very good games. And now he's doing the best he can to lead the Clippers, to the NBA Finals and try to win them a championship, because it's likely that Kawhi is going to be out for the rest of the playoffs, and so Paul George has to step up big time, and he's doing just that. He is stepping up big time. So I definitely expect Paul George to come out here in this series and just dominate with his shooting and just all-around game in general. But of course, Paul George, despite the fact that he's been playing really good, despite being known as a playoff choker, you just cannot replace Kawhi Leonard. Even though the team is playing really well, Paul George playing really well, there's just no replacing the superstar that is Kawhi Leonard. And that's why they're called superstars, a team is never the same without them, and you can't just replace that type of productivity from your superstars. So it's very difficult, and I think that's going to be the Clippers' downfall in this series, is the fact that there are going to be possessions where they need Kawhi to score the ball, where they need his level-headed scoring ability, and they're just not going to find that because, again, Paul George is out with that injury. So I think personally the Clippers need Kawhi Leonard more than the Suns need Chris Paul. because I feel like even though Chris Paul is very important to the Phoenix Suns, no doubt about that, it's just I feel like the Suns are more prepared for this series than the Clippers will be. And again, with the Clippers, a lot of their scoring comes from Kawhi Leonard, whereas with the Phoenix Suns, a lot of their scoring comes from Devin Booker, and also the team's just very balanced in terms of scoring the ball in general. So I think definitely missing Kawhi will be the Clippers' biggest downfall for sure. And with that being said, after analyzing all the weaknesses, all the strengths, I think I come to the conclusion that the winner of this series, it's going to be Suns in 6. I think that the Phoenix Suns are more prepared for this series, and even though the Clippers have a great perimeter defense to hold down Devin Booker, he's not the only scoring threat on this team. There are plenty of other guys who can get it going, and at the end of the day, I feel like the Clippers just missing Kawhi Leonard, his impact on not just the offensive end, but his ability to turn it up on the defensive end as well will hurt them, and it will be their downfall. So with that being said, and also plus with the Phoenix Suns, Chris Paul will likely come back in game 3 or 4 of this series, so they're going to have him to close out. So with that being said, I'm just going to go with Suns in 6. Alright, well let's move on from the Western Conference Finals. Let's talk about the Eastern Conference Finals with, you obviously have the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. And this is probably the strangest conference finals someone could have thought up. I don't think anyone expected the Hawks to make it as far as they have. But, I mean, that just goes to show you how good Trae Young is, how good the Hawks are in general. So, with that being said, do they have what it takes to take down Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks in a 7-game series and advance to the finals? So, we're about to find out right here. So that being said, let's go right into the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Bucks are a really good team. Giannis, he's been having some really great games, especially in that Brooklyn series in Game 7 where he had like a 40-point bomb. He played out of his mind, and he's going to have to probably do something similar for the Bucks to win. Chris Middleton, he's been up and down. He's mostly been down in my opinion, especially in that Brooklyn series, but I mean, he turned up in Game 7 when he was most needed. Jrue Holiday, he played pretty good, and then, you know, he had those games where he's been playing like Eric Bledsoe 2.0, and obviously the Bucks don't want that to happen. You don't want another Eric Bledsoe situation. But you know, just the Bucks are a very good team. They're a good 3-point shooting team. They got great spacing. On top of that, they got a lot of size. I mean, obviously, Giannis is very big, but then also you have Brook Lopez, who's big as well. And that's going to be a lot for the Hawks' inside defense to handle. I know Clint Capella is very good, but, I mean, is he able to guard Brook and Giannis at the same time? It's going to be a very difficult thing to decide. And then, of course, you know, besides Capella, you don't really have any rim protectors. John Collins, in my opinion, is not that good defensively, so I think Giannis is just going to have fun with it, just score a lot of points. And then also Milwaukee's defense is very good as well, and I think that they got some pretty solid perimeter defenders to pressure Trae Young, and it's going to make life difficult for him. Excuse me, I don't know why I messed up, but yeah, it's going to make life very difficult for Trae Young. That's not take away anything from Trae Young. It's just saying that, you know, the Bucks defense is definitely going to cause some problems for him for sure. But that being said, Bucks, they're great offensively. Giannis is likely going to be dominant like he was with Brooklyn. And Chris Middleton, he's going to have to step up big time as well, because he's been very inconsistent, so you don't know how he's going to play. And also same thing goes for Jrue Holiday. But again, if at least one of those guys, if one of Chris Middleton or Jrue Holiday can step up, then I think the Bucks can definitely take this. But if they don't, then it's going to definitely make life difficult and makes it even more likely for the Hawks to move on. And then, of course, their defense. You have to try and guard Trae Young as much as possible. Trae Young is still going to get his, but you're going to want to try and make life as difficult as possible for him. So those, are my opinion, are the things that Milwaukee has to do in order for them to advance to the NBA Finals. Alright, well, now let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks. And I think personally no one expected the fact that the Hawks would make it this far. Like, no regular NBA fan would say, yeah, I think the Hawks are going to make the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, that is crazy right there. But that's why you love the NBA. Very unpredictable, and just goes to show you how good this Hawks team really is. But as I said, do they have what it takes to take down Giannis and the Bucks? Well, let's take a look. For one, they have Trae Young, and I think the thing that really is interesting to me about Trae Young is the fact that, his scoring has obviously been great, but I think what's even better is his playmaking. Just getting his teammates involved has just been really beneficial to this Hawks team. And even though Trae Young's not a good defender, he's actually probably the worst defender in the NBA. His offensive skills are just sensational, and they've been the reason why the Hawks made it as far as they have. Topped with that, also you have some of the Hawks players stepping up. Clint Capella, solid rim protector. He's going to be asked to do a lot when guarding Giannis and also Brook Lopez. John Collins has been solid. Who else? I guess Lou Will. He's been pretty good in that Philly series, and he's going to be asked to do a lot more in this Bucks series. And then the Hawks are going to have to give it their all. This is going to be their toughest series. The Knicks, not their toughest. Philly, I thought would eliminate them, but turns out that, we all know what happened with Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? You all know what happened with that. But, the Hawks made it past that, but the Bucks are going to be their biggest challenge because, again, the Bucks, they do have a guy who's not good at shooting either with Giannis, but, they also got a lot of spacing. He's got a lot of spacing. Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, Bryn Forbes, Dante DiVincenzo, just everyone on that team is capable of making a three at a high level. So just a lot is going to be asked for Atlanta. They can't just go to hack a Giannis or anything like that, because Giannis is a better free throw shooter than Ben Simmons. But definitely the Hawks are going to have to give it their all, especially Clint Capella, who again is going to be trying to guard Giannis a lot, and he's going to have a tough matchup with him, and then also he has to try and guard Brook Lopez. It's going to be really tough, and just also it's going to be difficult as well for the Hawks to build that wall in general, because I think Clint Capella is like the only big body that they really have. John Collins can also be there, but I don't think he's going to be that effective defensively. But with that being said, I think Atlanta will be really good in terms of the offensive end, but defensively, it's going to be a big question mark as to whether they can contain Giannis or not. So after reviewing all the team's strengths and weaknesses, I think I came to a solid conclusion. And I know I've been saying this a lot for Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young. I said it in the first round. I said it in the second round. And I'm going to say it here again. But I do think that the Bucks are going to advance in 5 games. Yes, I think that the Bucks are going to advance to the finals. They're going to beat the Hawks in 5. Because, again, I think it's going to be difficult to contain Giannis, is all I'm saying. Giannis is going to have a really good series, in my opinion. I don't think there's, even Clint Capella, I don't think Capella's enough to stop Giannis. And also, again, the Bucks have really good spacing around them. It's not like, they just have Giannis and then another guy that can't shoot. They have Giannis and a bunch of guys who can space the floor, 3-point shooters, all that good stuff. So I think the Hawks defense is going to have a lot of trouble containing the Bucks offense. While the Hawks, I think, are going to be good offensively, it's going to be the defensively. Obviously you can score as much as you want, but if you give up a good amount of points, then, what's the point of all that offense? You have to be able to do it on both sides. So with that being said, I think that the Hawks are going to lose to the Bucks in 5 games. They'll definitely will get one. I'm going to be honest with you, they will get one. But I think the Bucks are going to be too good for the Hawks in this series. They're going to be their toughest opponent yet. And again, I know I said this a lot, but man, if the Hawks shock me again and make the finals, I will forever just say that Trae Young is one of the best point guards in the NBA. That would be crazy, if they do that, because I think this would be like the 3rd series in a row that I said that, Trae Young is not going to win. He's not going to win. And then he pulls away. So, you never know. But just my prediction, I'm gonna stick by it. I'm gonna say Bucks in 5 for the Eastern Conference Finals. That is my final prediction. All right, and with that being said, that is my prediction for the conference finals for both West and East. Obviously, I have been proven wrong in the past, especially with Trae Young, so feel free to do it again. I have no problem with admitting that I'm wrong, but those are just my predictions before it all starts. I know game one of Suns Clippers happened. Devin Booker went off, and Cameron Payne did his thing. DeAndre Ayton played well as well, but. Those are just my predictions that I made before that started. So just want to give you a quick disclaimer. I just didn't want to, upload a video for Western Conference Finals and have to do one for East. I figured I can just do it in both. So I just kind of waited for the Hawks or Sixers to advance before giving my final verdict on my predictions. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Again, we're trying to grow by the minute. Leave down in the comments below. What are your predictions for the conference finals? Do you think you have something similar to mine? Is it way different? Let me know down in the comments below. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a good rest of your day, y'all.